Hi everyone, my name is Andrew and this is Sustainably. Today I'm going to be talking about 15 ways that I use my stasher bags almost every day. I recently just put up a review of stasher bags and that's a pretty in-depth review, so if you're interested in seeing that, I rate on 5 different categories. I use stars, I talk about how much money you could potentially save or how long it'll take you to save money, plus a bunch more. So I'll leave a link for that video down in the description, and I'll also link the relevant blog post that I have in case you want to see the written content for these videos. Stasher bags are pretty expensive, and so I wanted to make up a list of ways that I use them all the time so that if you're thinking about getting them or you're just not sure, then you can see how I use them, and that might encourage you to either seek out how other people use them or just think about how you could use them in your life to help you figure out whether or not they're going to be something that you would use and would be of value for you. So let's start off in the kitchen. For uses in the kitchen, I use my sandwich stasher bags to store sandwiches. In my review, I talk about why this might not be the best choice for you if you're actually looking to store sandwiches. But I do sometimes use my sandwich stasher bag for sandwiches. I also use the stand-up mini and the stand-up mid sometimes too. So I go into that a lot more in depth in the review. So definitely check that video out if you want to know why you might want to avoid the sandwich stasher bags for sandwiches. But that's my number one use on the list for today. Number two is going to be saving space. So these are pretty thin if you're talking about the sandwich size stasher bags or the snack size stasher bags, anything that's not a stand-up, these are much thinner. The stand-up, this bottom part is actually about the same depth or height or whatever you want to say as my Snapware glass food containers. And so these sandwich bags are probably about half as tall or half as deep as my Snapware and as the bottom of the stand-up stasher bags. And so that can really save a lot of space. Rather than putting sandwiches into my Snapware containers or another container, I can put it in here, and this is a lot thinner. That can save room. Also, when it comes to like meat marinades, putting things in the freezer, veggies, meal prep, that can save room in the fridge, the freezer, the pantry, the cabinets, a bunch of different areas. So sometimes I'll use these to help consolidate food and save space. All right, I touched on meat marinades a little bit. So I do use these to marinate meat as well. So I'll put, the last one that I did was chicken, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description below to somebody else's video that I found on YouTube. She has a bunch of recipes that you can use in your stasher bags, and they're delicious and they work so well. So I put 2 chicken breasts in here, and then you can just kind of put your sauce, your marinade in here, and then I actually will end up freezing it, and then I can bake it when I'm ready for it. But this is perfect for 2 chicken breasts, and the marinade, it is like the exact perfect portion. And these are really great. Depending on what sauce you use, I would recommend using a darker color. So it's gonna help prevent staining. I think I used the yellow or the blue, and I stained it on accident with soy sauce. But all I had to do was stick that in the sun and it was fine. But I love using these to store meat and to store marinades. Another thing that these are really great for is steaming vegetables. So if you want to steam a vegetable for dinner or for like a quick meal, all you have to do is add some water, add your veggies in here, and sometimes I'll put butter, salt and pepper, whatever seasonings you want. You just put it in there. You're gonna wanna make sure that you vent this a little bit so it's a little bit open so that the steam and hot air can escape, and then microwave it. You'll just wanna also make sure that the water's not gonna spill out however you put it in the microwave. So that's just a really quick and easy way to prepare vegetables. I love doing that. It's super fast and waste-free. Another cool thing that you can do with your stasher bags, which is number 5 on my list, is smoothie prep. And so you can just put berries, you can put like strawberries, melon, whatever dry ingredients you want to put into a stasher bag. You could also use the snack size bag, depending on what portions you're gonna have. As you can see, I have matching ones here. And I actually bought this color specifically for berries. I don't have the dark purple on me right now. I think that's in use and I'm not quite sure where I put it. But I use the darker colors for things like berries. And so you can just stick them in the freezer, and then the morning of, when you're ready to put your smoothie materials into the blender, you can just pop them out of this bag, throw them in. Just don't put liquid in here or you're gonna get a solid chunk of something that's not gonna come out of the bag or fit into the blender. Number 6 on my list is gonna be storing fruits and vegetables. Sometimes you don't get through your fruits and vegetables and you just need to freeze them or something, this is a good option to throw them into the freezer. And you can just toss them in here, stick them in the freezer. You can do whatever with them, pull them out when you're ready. And it also is really great if you buy in bulk, or like I said before, if you meal prep, so you can buy too many if you shop somewhere where you can buy in bulk. They're also great because you can take them to the farmer's market and put your fruits and veggies in here and just use these as kind of all around storage for your whole foods. So I really love these for that purpose as well. The next thing I have on my list is miscellaneous food storage. So I also have a matching orange one of these, and I have chocolate chips in there. Rather than like clipping them closed or putting them in some other container, I just stuck it in a sandwich sized stasher bag and store my food in there. I also used this exact one when I was going to visit family for the holidays. I put my vanilla extract in here, and it did end up leaking into this, and it didn't stain. I knew that vanilla extract would stain other things like a yellowish orange, and so I put it in here for that reason, and it was great. It helped prevent a spill in my cooler. And so you can use them to store just a bunch of things. Sometimes I'll use them to store rice or really just any food item. And so I love using these for storage just around the pantry, around the cabinets, sometimes on the go, which I have a section for later. So we'll talk about that in a little bit in the video later on down the list. Number 8, I have for restaurant lovers. So if you love to go out, or even if you just go out every once in a while, we all know that the portion sizes at restaurants are usually way too big for one sitting, one person. And so if you have leftovers, these are really perfect for leftovers. I love these because you can fold them up and stick them in your pocket when you go in, or your purse or your backpack or whatever you use, and just pull it out, stick your leftovers in here, and you're good to go. You just seal it, take it home, and you can stick it in the microwave, the oven, boiling water, whatever, and then just toss it in a dishwasher when you're done. That can help you avoid having to use single-use plastic containers that they provide, or something else. You could even use this for soup on the go, but I would really be careful with that because these do tend to open up when there's fluids in here and they get pushed on. But I love using these as a sustainable swap for plastic when it comes to restaurant to go. Number 9 is snacks, and this is called the snack stasher bag. So of course it's great for snacks. I really think this is a great portion size for snacks. If you have kids, then you might want to check out the pocket size stasher bag as well. I see a lot of parents on Instagram and on Stasher's various social media accounts using these for like Cheerios or different baby foods and whatnot. This is a good size portion as well. If like you just wanted a cup of nuts or something, that's great. I love to use this for trail mix. I'll maybe put like some nuts in here, and then you can also put a granola bar in here. You can even put a couple things in here, and it's really great, really flexible compared to my Snapware containers, which are glass. Those tend to scare me because I'm a clumsy person. And so these are really great, especially for the little ones in your life. And they're just so easy to use. So I love those for snacks on the go. Since we're on the go section of this video, number 10 is phone, keys, wallet, cash, etc. So I really love using these to also store like non-food items when you're on the go. I was recently in Disney and I had one, and I could put my keys, my phone, my wallet into my stasher bag when it started raining. We all know how those emergencies work, and so that was really great for that. It's also good, I live near the beach, and I can put my valuables in these, keep them from the sand, keep them from the ocean water, and it's really good for that. There's a bunch of uses that you can use these for and avoid having to use single-use plastic bags. And so I really love these for that. They do have a go bag, and it's kind of the size of a snack bag. And it has the opening up here and then a carabiner that you can clip onto like the outside of a backpack or something. I don't have that, but that's also a good option. Number 11 on my list is medications. And so I was recently on a medication that really dried out my skin. And so I would put chapstick in here, and then I would also put that medication for when I needed to take it and I was at work or something. You can put that in here. You can put, I have mints in here now. You can put gum. So like I said, small snacks, but I really love the pocket stasher for really small, discreet uses like medications on the go. Number 12 is for travel. So now we're in the travel section, and for the first item in the travel section, I have packing toiletries. And so you really could use the pocket. You could use any size bag. And so you could put, if you still use shampoo that's in a bottle or something, you could put them in here. If you have any other liquids, put them in here. You can put a toothbrush, toothpaste. I also like to put bar soap into the sandwich size stasher bags because I use bar soap. And so you can just throw all your soap bars into the sandwich stasher, pull them out when you get there. And that's also a really easy way to avoid having to use those plastic to-go containers that you would get in the travel section at a store, like those small plastic squeeze bottles, or to avoid having to use what they have at your location. So those travel size shampoos and conditioners, those are very wasteful as well. And so using these when you're traveling for your toiletries is really a good way. They're also TSA approved. I think it's recommended that you stick to clear, but I'm not sure. You would have to double check me on that. Number 13 for my travel section is coffee. So when I travel somewhere just for like 2 or 3 days, I really love to put coffee in these, and it works out really well for me. Silicone is technically air permeable, so that means that air can travel between both sides of silicone. So that's something to note when it comes to putting something like coffee in here. I guess if you're like a coffee connoisseur, but I didn't notice a difference and it was perfect for me. It gave me 3 days worth of coffee and I just needed it in here for on the go. And that also helped me cut down costs, so I didn't have to go out and buy coffee, use the plastic cups or whatever, because I'm traveling and I might not have a personal cup. So I really loved that as well when I was traveling. Number 14 is gonna be cable storage. And this is, I have this down under travel, but it could really be like any kind of travel. So going to and from school. I also will sometimes put these in my work bag. You can also just put it in your purse. So you can probably fit like a charging brick, a cable or two in the snack bag. You could probably fit more than that in here. You could use a sandwich size bag. You could probably even use a pocket sized bag. But I really like that because one, it'll keep things dry in the case of an emergency. We've all had spills in our backpacks and that's not fun. But also it just keeps it together. It keeps it consolidated so you're not fishing around for this cord or that cord, pulling this one out and then that one out and trying to find the right one. It's all in one place inside your bag, and that really helps with organization. And then number 15, which is the last one, I kind of have it under miscellaneous. I was a little bit skeptical, but it's an ice pack. I injured my foot several weeks ago, probably like 2 months ago at this point, and I don't have plastic bags in my house, so I didn't have anything to make an ice pack out of other than the hard brick ice things that you put in a lunch to go. And so I was like, okay, let me try this out. Let me see how I like this for an ice pack. And my main concern was that when these are full with fluid and they get pushed on, they tend to pop open a lot easier than they would like right here. I'm pushing on it pretty hard and it's not opening. With fluid, they tend to open up a lot easier. And so I was concerned that I would be laying on the couch or in bed with this ice pack and it would melt and then it'd bust open and then I'd have cold water everywhere. What I found was that didn't happen to me. And so I really loved this as an ice pack. I think that you already have these around the house for food or for travel or for whatever. You can just throw ice in it, take it on the go, use it to cool down even, like in the summer, in the beach, use it as an ice pack for your lunch. You could really use it as an ice pack, not just for medicinal purposes, but I did use it for my injured foot and it was great. I loved it. So there you have it, 15 ways that I use my stasher bags almost every day. If you like this content or found it useful, make sure to give it a like. And if you want to stay in touch and see future videos on content like this, give it a subscribe. That engagement really helps to support my channel and it really helps me so that I can continue to create content like this. If you're interested in keeping up with my blog, I also have an email subscription that you can subscribe to, and that's just a weekly email where I put in my blog post for that week, some other stuff like future content, and that's really how I maintain a connection with people that are keeping up with my channel and my content. So that's another option for you as well. Thanks for tuning in today. I will see you next time.